looked in there. I mean, like years ago, we toyed with moving, but it's like there's a lot of nice parts of it, but it's so all over the place. And the problem is that area is really rough now once you get outside of Hunt.
Welcome, everybody. We'll call this meeting to order. I'd like to ask everybody to stand for the pledge to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call. We do have a quorum this evening. Approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Did everybody get a copy of the minutes?
Yes.
Any questions?
Nope.
Okay. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes?
Move to accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Any items from board members? Okay. Any items from staff? Okay. Public hearing. This is hearing V2110, Voltner, 5200, Hunters Oak Drive fence variance. Consideration of a variance for an 8-foot fence. The subject property is located at 5200 Hunters Oak Drive at the southwest corner of Hunters Oak Drive and Willis Road and in a Hunters Oak subdivision. Mr. Woodman?
Thank you, Chairman and board members. This evening is a variance request to increase the height of a residential privacy fence from 6 feet to 8 feet. Code enforcement placed the property owner on notice due to a complaint that was received by the Code Enforcement Department. And to correct the noncompliance with the height of the fence, the applicant has submitted a variance request that you are considering this evening. Have the location map up on the overhead. The property is located at 5200 Hunters Oaks Drive, southwest corner of Hunter Oaks Drive and Wills Road in the Hunters Oaks subdivision. That's a mouthful. The applicant placed the 8-foot privacy fence along the property line, and it would be the side property line adjacent to Wills Road, and then along their rear property line. The property to the south of them is the American Legion, which those that are familiar with that property, it's got pretty large ball fields with the lighting associated with that. And so the applicant placed that privacy fence on the property line in an effort to help screen the noise from the road as well as the noise coming from the American Legion property. Applicant has stated that he wasn't aware of the city's code requirement for a maximum 6-foot fence on a residential property. Of course, that's the maximum in residential. We do allow 8-foot fence on commercial properties, but in this case, the max is 6. The applicant did submit their application with letters of support from the adjacent property across Wills Road and his neighbor to the west. Have some street view pictures of the property and the fence in question. This is looking at the property from Wills Road and Hunters Oaks Drive. So this is the property. It would be the side of the property. This would be the home back here. And so this is an older picture of the side of the property adjacent to Wills Road before the applicant put up the 8-foot privacy fence. As you can kind of see here through the landscaping through here, this was just like about a 4-foot picket fence at that time. And then this is a picture that was taken more recently by code enforcement, so kind of a before and after. You see the applicant's property line actually sits about 4 or 5 feet higher than the sidewalk along Wills Road, and it's about 12 feet back from the back of the sidewalk. So it's really not discernible. I've been out there myself, and really the height, the fence being 8 foot is really not discernible from the sidewalk. because of its being set back so far and at a higher elevation and with all the landscaping between the fence and the road. Oops. Got my before and afters mixed up there. So this would be the rear of the property here. So this is the before picture with the picket fence. And then this is an after. This is on the, actually on the American Legion driveway looking at the rear of the property. Staff has reviewed the applicant's requests and finds that the proposal does not conflict with the established review criteria for a variance. We believe that the existing landscaping in the area between Wills Road and the fence helps screen the fence from Wills Road as well as from the American Legion property. So with that, staff is recommending approval of the applicant's request subject to one condition. That condition being an 8-foot privacy fence shall be permitted as depicted on the submitted plan. And that concludes the staff presentation. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer those.
I do have one question for you.
Sure.
Sometimes when we hear of the 8-foot fence variances, it's often due to blocking headlights or noise from a surrounding road or intersection. Given that this already has a 4 or 5 foot difference from the surrounding roads, does that help mitigate that impact already before the fence?
It probably helps that they are sitting at a higher elevation, helps kind of mitigate some of that road. I don't know the science behind that, but I do think that it's reasonable based on the applicant's request. I do think that it's reasonable to think that he would put up the privacy fence to try to help create that more private area in the rear of the yard. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one. Do I have to?
Yes.
The only question that I have, does it carry over onto Wills Road as well, or is it just back where the Legion fields are?
It's both.
Okay.
So it's actually the section of fencing. So this is the front of the property. This would be Hunter's Oaks Drive here, with the house sitting approximately in this location. Mm-hmm. This is Wills Road, and this is the American Legion property. So their driveway sits kind of in this area. The applicant's fence is along the property line, beginning, and the fence does not start until a pretty decent ways back, basically even back behind where the home starts. So it's about 55 feet, I believe, is what we measured along Wills Road, and I believe the length of the fence that faces American Legion is about 85 feet.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chair, will you entertain a motion?
Yes.
Mike?
Well, I'm sorry, we'd like to hear from the
Okay.
applicant first, please.
Sure.
Mr. Voltner, if you're done, Mr. Wooden?
Yes. Right here?
Yes.
Thanks. Joe Voltner. I live at 5200 Hunters Oaks Drive. I just want to say thank you for this time, and thank you to Mike and everybody involved in this process. It's been super easy and swift and nice. So really just want to thank you all for a good experience. My first time in front of council here. So yeah, I agree with everything that Mr. Woodman kind of detailed in there. I have 2 young kids, so that was really the reason for the fence. It's on that commercial property, a lot of traffic back there, obviously, with a lot of games and stuff, which we like, but a lot of noise. And then along the road, as you mentioned, it's kind of elevated up there. So really, if the kids got into that ditch too, it's just not good. So we wanted to create a higher, kind of space where they wouldn't be able to do that. So that was the reason for it. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Yeah, thank you all very much.
If you don't mind to step up to the podium, do you want to open the floor for public comment?
I will.
Okay. If
Can
you'll
you
just
state your name, please, ma'am?
and your
Pamela
address.
Clark, 5325 Hunters Oaks Drive. I live in the subdivision, and I'm trying to clarify exactly where the fence is, because they're at the beginning. Are you at the first house?
I am, yes.
On the left?
So if you were coming into the neighborhood, first house on the left.
Okay, so there are trees there, correct?
Correct, yep.
And there is also a brick front to the subdivision or a stone front to the subdivision?
Yeah, kind of like at the front corner into like our front yard almost.
Yeah,
It's a little place right there, yeah. There's like the, I guess the, where it says 100 Oaks.
yeah, and you already have a fence up, so you want to make it higher?
No, the fence is already there. So it's just, the fence is already
It's
there.
already an 8-foot fence
Correct.
already there?
Yes, correct.
Okay, I thought it was lower and you wanted to make it even higher?
No.
Okay. Had my questions answered, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't want to disturb the front of the subdivision because
Sure.
people start looking at
Oh, absolutely.
boxed in.
Yeah, and ours is like, the fence starts way behind, like, so our front yard is where that is.
Thank you. Okay, we'll take a motion now.
I would move approval for V 21-10, Volmer, 5200 Hunters Oaks Drive fence variance, subject to staff conditions.
Great. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Motion passed. Any other? No. Adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I love these easy ones.
Oh, I actually walked by there the other morning.